What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and today I'm going to be giving you guys 8 different ab exercises that you only need to use a medicine ball for. All right, so there's a bunch of different ab exercises, obviously. I've been seeing a lot of questions from you guys asking about different ab exercises, and while I do have ab workouts, follow-alongs, different ab exercises, tips for abs, I wanted to give you guys a couple ab exercises where you can use something weighted. You don't necessarily have to use a medicine ball. This is just one of the specific questions that I saw more often than just a couple of times. So I wanted to give you guys a bunch of different examples and choices to choose from for different ab exercises. You can do these all in the same day. I would probably keep this down to probably 4 or 5 of these ab exercises. If you're going to do them all in one day, all 8 of these isn't necessarily needed. But I'm gonna get into these. First one, so obviously just need a medicine ball. You can use a little weight if you want. It doesn't have to be super heavy. It's more about contracting than it is how much weight you're using, because if you use too much weight, you're gonna end up just using like your shoulders or your arms. If you're twisting or if you're pushing, you're gonna use a little bit of your chest. So you're really gonna focus on contracting your abs with these. So get into the exercises. The first one is just going to be a Russian twist. Most people know what this exercise is. It's just holding. So the easiest way to get into this is just sitting here with your knees bent and just simply leaning back until your knees or until your feet naturally come off the ground, and you want your shoulders and your knees to be about level with each other. So you're just gonna grab the weight after that. And then a big issue with Russian twists is a lot of people end up doing this kind of thing, and actually what ends up happening is they're gonna be working their arms quite a bit. They're not actually working their abs much, because the whole emphasis of a Russian twist is the twist. You want to focus on what your shoulders are doing with this weight. So you want to focus on trying to get your shoulders to go from straight forward, all the way turned to the side, back to the top, and turned all the way to the other side. You don't want to focus on getting this. It doesn't matter if this weight is touching the ground or not. It matters how far your shoulders are getting turned. So even if this weight is stopping a couple inches above the ground, but your shoulders are still getting that twist, it's going to be a solid Russian twist. So this is going to be the first one, and you can just go back and forth. You can go timed here for 30 seconds, a minute. You can go for 10 to 12 reps, whatever you can handle. Just make sure you are focusing on turning your shoulders. Okay, the next one is going to be a lower ab exercise. This is one of my favorite lower ab exercises ever, just because of the simplicity of it and how good it works your lower abs. It's going to be a reverse crunch. And basically you're just gonna take it to the next level by putting this ball between your knees. So you're just gonna start down on your back. A lot of people think that with a reverse crunch, you start with your legs all the way down here or even straight. But what ends up happening is when they bring their legs up, they're creating momentum right here, because this is just working your hip flexors, where actually you wanna start with your knees or your thighs pointed straight to the ceiling. And then from here, from your knees here up to your chest, this is the full range of motion, stopping right here, right back up. That way you're not creating any momentum and using your lower abs. So like I said, to take this to the next level, you're gonna take this ball, and if you want to, you can put it between your feet. That's a little difficult sometimes. So if you wanna make it a little easier, put it between your knees. And then again, you're gonna start right here with your thighs perpendicular to the ground. And then from here, you're going to drive your knees upwards towards your chest, really focusing on crunching with your lower abs, trying to get that curvature of your lower spine, trying to get your butt to come off the ground. That way you can work those abs optimally. Try to get this ball to almost come up and touch your chest right there, and back down and stopping. You don't want to bring this all the way down here, because then you're going to create momentum to get that ball up. Stopping, going back into the next one. Again, you can do this for time, you can do this for reps, whatever is going to help you work your abs best. Just make sure you are focusing on contracting your lower abs when you do this exercise. Okay, the next exercise is going to be I call it a ball rotation V-up. We all know what a V-up is. It's just when you are going from down like this, bring your legs in towards your chest. Well, one way to take this to the next level is to obviously add a weight, medicine ball, and then what you want to do is basically rotate this weight or this ball around your legs as you do this V-up. So as you're back here, this ball is going to be in your chest. You're going to bring your knees up. You're going to rotate around, back up, and you're basically just going to be rotating this ball around your thighs But what you don't want to get distracted with is the weight of this ball. If this becomes too heavy and now this is becoming a arm or a shoulder workout, you need to drop weight and just go back to what this ab exercise is supposed to do, which is work your abs and really start focusing on this, on your knees, actually pulling in towards your chest, which is what's actually going to be working your abs. This is just to take it to the next level so that when you bring this in, you are really focusing on bringing your knees in farther than you probably normally would, and then also incorporating just other muscle groups throughout the exercise. So this is going to be the third one. Okay, the next one is going to be a straight arm crunch with the ball, obviously. And this is gonna be a fantastic upper ab exercise, but also a difficult one. Again, if you don't need to use the weight and if this gets too hard and you're gonna start using momentum, drop the weight and just do this with body weight until you build up that strength to be able to use the weight. So what this is gonna be is just laying flat on your back, and then from here, you can have your legs flat or you can have them bent, whatever is more comfortable for you. And then you're going to literally just put your arms straight up in the air, and this is gonna be a straight arm crunch. So you don't want to bring this weight back here and then swing it forward to where you're doing this, where your arms are straight, and you're still crunching, but you're just kind of creating momentum and not really working your abs at all. You wanna focus on keeping your arms straight up and down to like basically pointed towards the ceiling at all times. And then as you crunch this weight up, you're really focusing on contracting with your upper abs, pulling your upper body off of the ground using your abs, and keeping your arms straight up and down towards the ceiling. So when you're actually crunching, it's almost gonna be like you are bringing your arms up a little bit because you are crunching up and keeping your arms straight up and down. It's gonna look, rather than this, it's going to look like this. And again, if you can't use weight, or you get to like your 4th rep and now you got to start going like that and you're not really getting much contraction in your abs, slow it down, drop this weight if you have to, work your way up to being able to contract your abs for all 10 reps or 30 seconds, whatever you're trying to do with that weight, so that you can actually work your upper abs like you're supposed to with this exercise. So that's going to be the 4th one. All right, the next one is going to be a ball pass sit-up. Now, I'm here alone right now, so if you are there, if you're at the gym with, let's say, a partner, and you were gonna get on like a decline bench, I see this done all the time with people doing sit-ups, catching the weight and then throwing it up to their partner, and then them throwing it back, catching it mid sit-up and doing like that. If you're alone, you can still do this. All you're gonna do is grab this weight, but instead of throwing it at somebody, you're just gonna throw it straight up in the air. Still same thing, you're gonna throw it up as you're crunching up, and then you're gonna catch it on your way back down. That way you can really work the stabilizer muscles in your abs and work them properly, rather than, let's say, throwing this weight up right here, then crunching, catching it when you're at the top, and then going into the negative of it. So really focus on when you're doing this, and it's gonna take some hand-eye coordination. If you don't have that, maybe start with like a tennis ball or something so you don't hurt yourself by missing it. But you're going to start here, you're gonna throw this, you're gonna start crunching, you're gonna throw this up, and then it's gonna be a real quick movement. You're gonna throw this up, and then you're gonna start into your decline immediately as you catch it. So it's gonna look like this. So again, if you have a partner, you can use it with them. But if you don't, obviously if you don't have the hand-eye coordination, or if it gets too heavy, then start with something lighter. Get used to the movement, throw it up as you're crunching up, and catch it as you're lowering yourself back down. That way you can basically work the reflexes in your abs to basically use the muscles that are meant to stabilize your spine, so that you can get your core stronger and develop your ab muscles better. So that's gonna be the 5th one. All right, next one is going to be a ball toe touch. So toe touches are just when you're laying back on your back, your legs are gonna be straight up, and you're just going to go from here and go up and touch your toes. Now, you don't always have to touch your toes. You can touch your heels. As long as you're touching your feet and just more than anything, contracting your abs and reaching up as high as you can without creating a bunch of momentum, that's going to be the best thing that you can do. So to take this to the next level and incorporate a medicine ball, or any kind of weight you're just gonna stick your legs straight up. You're gonna take this ball, you're gonna have it straight up towards your feet, and then from here, you're just gonna focus on crunching. You're not gonna focus on extending your shoulders or maybe bending your arms and then straightening your arms. You're not doing any of this. You're keeping your arms straight the whole time, keeping your shoulders locked in position, and then you're going to drive up using your upper abs as high as you can, up towards your feet, getting that crunch. It's gonna be a short movement, but it's going to be a very effective movement as long as you're focusing on contracting. So it's gonna look just like this. So again, make sure you're keeping your feet straight up and down. Make sure you're contracting your abs. And if you can't do this with the weight, drop the weight, work up the strength and until you can use a weight. But that's going to be the sixth exercise. All right, the seventh exercise is going to be a flutter kick figure 8. So it's going to be kind of similar to a V-up, kind of similar to a bicycle, but also incorporating a medicine ball. And what you're gonna do is basically get into the same kind of position that you would with a V-up, which is when you're just gonna lean back until your feet come off the ground, try to get your knees and your shoulders on the same plane right here. And then what you're gonna do is almost act like you're gonna be doing a bicycle. You're gonna be going in this movement right here, doing some lower ab work, some oblique work, driving your knees up. But then instead of just doing this, you're gonna incorporate the medicine ball by going in a figure 8 with this ball right here, really focusing. And then also when you're doing this, you wanna focus on turning your shoulders as much as possible so that it's gonna look like this. And then driving your knees up. And while you're doing this, you're gonna find that even though you're not necessarily crunching all the way up, you're keeping your abs tense the entire time because you have to keep your legs up off the ground. You're never actually straightening out completely to a relaxed state. You're just going like this. You're still, both your abs are still tensed right here. Driving this knee up, go that way. Driving the other one up, and then even right here, one side of my abs are tensed. So you're never actually releasing your abs, keeping that tension the whole time. That way you're building up the strength, the stability, and your ab muscles as well. So that's gonna be the seventh exercise. Okay, and the eighth and final exercise is going to be a side wall pass. Now I got a little contraption set up here because this room I'm filming in is just full of mirrors. I wouldn't recommend throwing it against mirrors, but if you wanna set something up like a mat, and also make sure that the ball you're throwing is meant to be some kind of ball that is not just gonna break if you throw it at the wall. Make sure of that first. But a side wall pass is going to be a great exercise for the rotation of the abs. Therefore, it's going to work a lot of the obliques, the serratus muscles, what people call the fingers running down the side walls of your abs. Great exercise, very explosive exercise. All you're gonna do is you wanna get in a position where you feel strong in your positioning. So you don't just wanna be standing up straight and you're kinda like this. It's gonna put too much stress on your lower back. Get into a strong position, bend your legs, get your core stabilized right here, and then you're going to turn away from the mat. You're gonna take your arms and you're going to really focus on turning with your shoulders, not really throwing it with your arms here. You wanna focus on cranking your shoulders one way. That way you can get the rotation of the abs and throwing this ball into the wall, just like that. And also, don't piss off your gym too much because might not let you back in. But this is how you're gonna be doing a side wall. It wouldn't be this loud if I didn't have this mat against this wall. Most gyms are gonna have a wall that you're able to throw stuff against the wall, but this is gonna be the 8th exercise. All right, so that's 8 ab exercises that you can do with a weight. I used medicine ball. You don't have to necessarily use a medicine ball, just something that you're gonna be able to you can get a hold of. That's gonna take your ab exercises to the next level, help build some strength, help just break any kind of plateau that you might be experiencing with the amount of muscle that you can build in your abdominal region. Try these out, let me know how you like them. If you guys are wanting more tips just to lower body fat, maybe help get your abs popping in addition to these ab exercises when related to nutrition and then a dieting, exercise, supplementation, everything, we built a free body type quiz where you answer a couple of questions about your body, what you're struggling with, what your goals are, and then it matches you up with a video where I give 3 tips for your specific goals, and then it also recommends a specific 90-day program with a complete training and nutrition program included in that afterwards. But if you don't want to get that, it's completely optional. But you can check that out by clicking the link in the description below this video. Other than that, if you like this video, if you learned anything, make sure you're clicking the thumbs up button below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, videos that you guys want me to film, leave them in the comment section below. And then last but not least, make sure you are clicking that subscribe button below. That way you're not missing out on any future videos. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.